Steelers with mainstream media and your...
Jerome Bettis, formerly of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah. And where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. Yeah, I went to college at the University of Notre Dame, and then I was drafted the first round to the Los Angeles Rams. I played there for 3 years, and then I was traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers, where I played 10 years and finished my career winning the Super Bowl and Super Bowl 40 in my hometown of Detroit. So that was my career in a nutshell.
And how long have you lived in Detroit?
Well, I was there growing up, and then once I left college, I haven't lived there permanently anymore. I live in Atlanta, Georgia now with my wife, and I have 2 children, 8-year-old daughter, her name is Jada, and 6-year-old son, Jerome Jr. So my life has kind of moved from Detroit. Now I'm in Atlanta.
And what position were you?
I was a running back. I was a big running back, and my nickname was the Bus because I was so big.
Yeah. And what other sport do you like besides football?
You know what? I grew up as a kid bowling, and that went until I was about 14, 15. Then I had to make a decision. I decided to play football, and then I've been a football player for the rest of my life, but amazingly enough, I started playing golf, and so now I got hooked on the golf bug. So now I try to play golf every chance I get.
Do you think you ought to learn how to play basketball?
You know, unfortunately, I was challenged as a kid with height. I knew I wasn't going to get too tall, so unfortunately, I'm a midget in terms of basketball.
Yeah. And can you skate?
I can't skate. Never, you know, I grew up in Detroit and it's cold weather, but I never threw on a pair of skates and never tried to skate.
Not even roller skates or skateboarding?
Not even roller skating or skateboarding, nothing. No kind of skates at all.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
And what are your hobbies?
Well, right now, since I've been retired, my #1 hobby is golf. So every chance I get an opportunity to, whenever my wife lets me.
Golf is a hobby and a sport.
Yeah, it's a hobby. It's a sport first, but if you know, once you're old, it's only a hobby because, you know, you're not going to ever be good enough to play it as a sport in terms of a profession. So it's only a hobby. So
Michael Jordan loves golf, and I heard he's a good golfer.
He's a good golfer. I've golfed with Michael on a couple occasions, and he's a really good golfer.
And I've heard that goalie Grant Fear was a golfer.
He's a really good golfer as well. I had a chance to play with Grant. Grant is a really good golfer as well.
And what other athletes are there that are great golfers?
You know what? Wayne Gretzky.
Oh yeah.
Mario Lemieux is a great golfer. I'm trying to think some other. John Elway, great golfer. Tony Romo, he's a great golfer. So
in that way, they consider it a hobby.
It's all of them consider it a hobby because they're not good enough to be professional. So it's only a hobby.
And then and you love bowling. That's a hobby as well.
Yes, it is, and that's my first love, bowling. But unfortunately, as a kid, I had to make a decision either bowling or football, and I chose football.
Yeah, I love bowling.
Yeah. It's a great sport, but unfortunately, not enough people know about it or enjoy it enough.
The only pro bowler that I know out there, well, there are a couple of them, male and female. The male one is Earl Anthony, and female is Tish Johnson.
Oh wow! Yeah. I know both of those people. You know, Earl Anthony was one of the greatest ever, and Tish Johnson, a great player in her own right. So, you know, but unfortunately, I wish I would have. You know, it's one of those things. I don't regret the decision I made going to football instead of bowling. But you know, I wish I would have considered bowling because I don't know how far it would have taken me.
Yeah, and they're both left-handed. Earl Anthony and Tish Johnson.
And so the left-handed bowlers really had an advantage because, you know, no one uses that side of the lane, so they got fresh lanes.
Left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Yeah, same with me. The vast majority of our people are right-handed.
All right, so lefties they have a big advantage.
Yeah, and it was nice talking to you.
It was my pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.